Welcome. Let's talk about how becoming her in real life really looks. Right? So, I'm going to tell you what it's not. It is not perfect morning routines. Okay? So, cut yourself some slack, ladies. Becoming the woman you admire, you're not always going to have a perfect morning routine. Sometimes you're going to be running late. Sometimes, things happen. Sometimes you oversleep. That doesn't make it that doesn't make you less than becoming the woman you admire, right? No, it doesn't. So becoming the woman you admire in real life doesn't look like a luxurious lifestyle, right? Becoming her isn't this grand transformation overnight. Becoming her takes time. It takes discipline, it takes dedication, and it takes keeping promises to yourself. What happens when women stop trusting themselves? And how do you get there? For me, I know that I stopped trusting myself and I started looking outside for validation, and I started seeking reassurance outside myself, questioning every decision that I would make. And that came from not keeping promises to myself, not setting boundaries when I needed to set boundaries, or not, let's see, what else? Not texting back, right? When you're in a situation and you get that text and you're like, oh, so excited because you finally got a text back. And realistically, you probably shouldn't be texting that person back. It is breaking those promises that you should be keeping for yourself, that breaks that self-trust, because you're convincing yourself that your brain is convinced that you don't keep your word. So it creates anxiety within yourself. So we're just giving ourselves anxiety every time we break promises to ourselves and not setting those standards and those expectations and boundaries. So, becoming her in real life, what it looks like for me. Last week I was sitting in the gym parking lot, right? And I was trying to create a video and I just sat there and I couldn't get one sentence out. I felt so discouraged and I felt frustrated because I was like, I can't focus. I can't even get a sentence out. What's wrong with me? I thought that, I doubted myself. I thought that there was something wrong with me. Like, why can't I do this? And I think it's about rebuilding the self-trust. And every time that I post a video, whether it's perfect or not, I'm teaching myself how to start to rebuild the trust between me and me, right? So rebuilding the connection with myself in the brain. So start by keeping promises to yourself and set those boundaries and don't text back. Do what you say you're going to do. Go to the gym when you say you're going to go to the gym. If you're tired, then rest. Honor yourself. As a woman, becoming her in real life looks like writing notes so that you can remember what you want to say. So note takers and action takers are the money makers. That's what I heard somebody say once, and that really stuck with me. And so I'm saying it to you. Don't dog me for taking notes, because taking notes and action makes money. So, anyway, sometimes we have bad days. I know a couple weeks ago I had a really bad day at work, and I didn't let it define me. No, I didn't. No. I got back on track. I refocused and recentered myself, because keeping the promise to myself that I will not let bad days define who I am is one thing that I've done for me. So remember that this journey is about alignment, not perfection. And like, I know I did mention that in one of my previous videos. If you have watched it, I do talk about that alignment versus balancing and not getting burned out while becoming the woman that you admire. So remember that alignment comes in many forms, right? So it means sometimes you're working, sometimes you're creating, sometimes you're spending the time with your family, sometimes you're creating content, sometimes you're building for your future, sometimes you're resting, and that's okay. We're learning how to regulate our emotions, and we're trusting ourselves again by keeping the promises to yourself. So remember that as you continue to build trust with yourself, your confidence is going to grow. Not perfect. So don't expect for the journey to becoming the woman you admire to be perfect. And I will emphasize this on every video because a lot of us are really hard on ourselves. All right, so thank you for joining me, and remember, you are loved and valued and cherished, and you are important. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share with anyone you feel like would love to join in with me and you on this journey. Bye.